Sing a song of new light, life beyond the stars. Sing a song of new light, music travels so far. Sing the song of a new world, a world without the fear. Sing the song of freedom, spirit will come so near.
Today I thought I would speak to you about peace. And when I was talking to Janet just yesterday, we were having a discussion about, what would you like me to talk about, this type of thing. And she goes, spiritualism. Would be good. Stick to the topic, if you will. And I know that I can go to different directions in philosophy and theology and understandings in my speaking. But I was thinking, what brought me here to spiritualism? What really brought me here? Was it I was running away, or was it I was coming to? What brought me to this religion, if you will? This faith, this movement, this experience of spiritualism. I practiced a lot of different religions, and most of them were, do this, do that, you better do this, you better not do that. And there was all kinds of rules and dogma and information that I needed to learn and process and get into place, or else. And there was a fear of God, a fear of a peaceful place. I had to somehow earn it, or somehow I had to, cut my teeth and get there and prove it somehow to myself and to others that I was going to fit in. Spiritualism didn't do that for me. When I first came around, I was lucky enough, I guess, or fortunate enough, or blessed enough, or in peace enough to find something that said, yeah, well, we've tried that before, but if you want to go ahead. Knock yourself out. Try that, meditate, pray, see if that works, go do this, try it scientifically, try it this way, experience it. Experience spirit in your life. Have it come to you. Come to know it. And I was thinking, what is it that's so special about spiritualism that allows us to know peace, to know God intimately? And this song just now talked about heaven on earth. How is that possible? A lot of us didn't grow up that way. Heaven was like, it was up there. It was beyond the clouds. It was where the angels are. They're all up there somewhere. They're hanging off the edge of a cloud, singing chants and whatever the case may be. Well, it couldn't be right here, especially not in the muck and mire and craziness of the world, amidst the wars and the pain and the frustrations and the struggles. Couldn't be there. But spiritualism offered me an understanding, offered me a direction in which to start to think in terms of, what if God is everywhere? What if I turn the light on, if I begin to expose myself to the fact that all things are of peace and of love? Everything, every experience, every movement, that it's right there. It's just that I'm not seeing it in my own limited perspective, in my own confined way of thinking. I'm not able to see it. Do you ever lose something and it was in a junk drawer? How many people have a junk drawer? It's like one of those things. I can get another menu in there. Just put it in there. I can get another one in there. And we got that junk drawer, and we know that we left that in there, that particular thing in that place. I bring all these papers up, but I never use them. You know that it's in that drawer. So you start rifling through, but you know it's there. But where is it? It's under all the junk. It's under all that stuff that I really don't need. You know? Because every time I go to the Chinese restaurant, I get another menu. You know? Every time I go to that place, I get that. Every time oh, there's still a little bit of tape on that, I'll throw that in there, you know. I don't want to throw anything out. It's all in that drawer. I'm surprised that my car looks the same, by the way. And then it's like I have to have it all there. But somewhere, that thing that I really need is there, and I know it. But how much time do I spend rifling through the junk in order to get there? Peace is always there. It's always there. I just don't see it. I just can't find it. I can't find it in the midst of my anger. I can't find it in the midst of my resentment. I can't find it in my limitation of it has to happen now. I can't find it in the midst of, oh my God, what's happening? What will they think of me? What will happen now? This will never get done. There's only so much time. Can we do this before I die? Don't they know who I am? I can never quite get to that peace through the junk. That which is limited, that which is human, that which is my experience in everyday life. That which my fears gather around. That which holds me back. Because that couldn't be for me. That couldn't be possible for me to experience that bliss, to experience a knowing of the divine. That's for those people with robes on. And that's not for me. What is it that brought us to there, that we put so much junk in the drawer? How do we move it out of the way? How do we clean house? How do we get that so emptied in our own self that we can see nothing but the purity of what really matters? Not the old menus, not the old stuff, not the paper clips, not the stuff that holds things down or holds things together, but something that frees ourselves. Yes, I'm a product of those religions that said, do this, do that, or else. You know? And today, I'm in a place that says, go ahead, try it. Experience it for yourself. Become responsible for your own being, for your own well-being. So today I want to talk about how do we move from pain and struggle and stress in our lives. Because if I asked who doesn't have that, I'm not going to get a lot of hands going on, not a lot of ceiling dusting going down here, you know? Because we all have it. We each experience it in this lifetime. And one of the reasons is because that word time is on the back end of life. Time. Spiritualism offered me the fact that I could take that word time and throw it out. That life is continuous and there is a continuity to life. That it was, is, and forever will be. That there's a spiritual part of ourselves that matters, that is connected, and that is one with one another. And that the answers and the peace is there. And it's always in the drawer. It's always there for you. So how do I get everything else out of the way? How do I move away from my own fears of my own time frame, my own limitedness? How can I come to not fear death, but not fear living either? Spiritualism isn't about death. It is about living our life extraordinarily, to the point of really thirsting for whatever we can have here, whatever we can experience, because we carry it with us. We know that through spirit. We know that through communication. We know that because they use their experience of life not only as a name tag so we know who they are, but to show us, this is the mistakes I made. This is what I wish I had done. I wish I spent less time arguing with people and a lot more time hugging people. I wish I would spend less time in war and a lot more time maybe helping kids have fun and enjoy the woods and take a hike. Those are the things we hear. Those are the things that come to us. In that other rhythm, in Psalm 34:18, it said, seek peace and pursue it. Don't seek the madness, the craziness, the comparisons. You're this way, they're that way. I don't know about them. I don't want to go down there. Seek the likeness of mind. The openness of what connects us all, which is that spirit. C.S. Lewis said, God cannot give us happiness and peace apart from himself because it is not there. There is no such thing. In other words, peace dwells as part and parcel and everything to do with what God is. And that belongs to each of us. We each have that capability. We each have the complete ability to find it and to own it and to immerse ourselves in it and to experience it and to carry it. We've always known it, we know it now, and we will always know it in the future. Always. Because they're forever. And yet, we cloud it with the junk. A great, phenomenal philosopher and prophet known as Jimi Hendrix once said, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. Even in today, as we watch the news or we go about our day, spiritualism, the practice of spiritualism, of these principles that we can live by, doesn't mean we have to get them right. It doesn't mean that we have to get it down and stick to it. But if we practice it and we move through it in our lives, we begin to understand that we are more than what we see, more than what we feel, more than what we are experiencing, that there is a greater experience going on all around us all the time. It's not just the tactile nature of life, that which I hear, I feel, ow, but that which is all around us all the time. We begin to become aware of us, of the peace we are. We begin to find it in the drawer. We can feel it there in the back. Can't see it, but I know it's in there. I think I got a handle on it. I think I got my fingers on the edge of it. It's there. That peace that I can know and want is there. I just got to get some more stuff out of the way. There's great power in peace. Emil Sonnenberg, who was the father of spiritualism in Sweden. And then I wanted to read you something just quickly, from Emma Harding. I can find it, I wrote it down. When we come to spiritualism, we begin to see these things, these strange ceremonies that they have on Sundays. It's not a mass. We're not reading the Torah here. We're people are getting up and talking to dead people, talking to people who have passed on, trying to show evidence of their very nature, that they're there. It's a little strange to those who've never seen that before. It's like John Edwards on Sundays or something. It's like, what is going on here? But what we're doing is we're delving into understanding the spiritual world. Understanding that the communication with the spiritual world is possible for each and every one of us. But when you come here, when you take part in this spiritual move, this time, we begin to open our minds to that which can bring us to a place of peace and an understanding of peace throughout every day and every experience and everything that goes wrong, right, or otherwise. Harding said, "Those who claim that the communication which impressed their minds without a visible or material origin proceed from the disembodied spirits alone forget that they themselves are spirit." In other words, people come here sometimes and they sit and they say, "Oh, look at that medium up there. Look what they can do. Wow, that's them, that's not me. That must be them. That's not me." But I need to say that's a misconception. Reverend Newby, a spiritualist minister for many, many years, 40-something years, in Rochester, New York, beautiful, beautiful woman in her own right, and considered by many a saint, I gotta say, who passed probably close to 20 years ago, used to say, "You're as much spirit today as you always will be." Simple statement. But you're as much spirit right now at this moment as you always will be. You cannot take that out of the drawer. That is yours to possess in that drawer forever. That is your drawer. That is who you are. You have that peace. You are that spirit. You will continually be. You were, you are, and you always will be. And that spirit is where we go. That's what we want to find in the drawer. When we're having struggles, when we're having stress, when we're having problems. We need to go to that place. Estelle Roberts was one who, when she did her trance demonstrations and she brought in information, it was astounding information, astounding things outside the box. And as early spiritualists, they really understood that we need to get information from another source, not from our perspective, but from a different perspective, a huge perspective, an overwhelming origin, if you will. That omnipresent perspective of everything, from all sides, from all angles. She understood that. And she understood that if she could do that, if she could bring that to place, then she would understand what peace really was. And that everyone could know it. So she talked about how with a child, there's a tactile nature. They can go and grab the flame, and it's, ow! Their physical body is going to react. Their sight, their mind, their touch, their smell, their taste, the glitter of the flame, everything is experienced from our human perspective. And that is one way to tell. That is our knee-jerk reaction. Ow, I'm not going to do that again. It's a learned experience. I'm not going to keep my hand in the flame. It's a learned experience. But meanwhile, all around us, spirit dwells in all sight, all touch, all hearing, all smell, all taste. Spirit is in all of that, all the time. Our own proprioception, our own perspective of what we're doing. All the time. Completely within us, and through us, and around us. We feel it as we walk into a house. We feel it as we walk into this church. We feel it as we walk into a restaurant, and there's someone there. We just know it. It is at our core. They were brilliant women and brilliant people. And they brought some great understanding of what the spiritual life can bring us. So today, when you're feeling stressed, the next time you're feeling angst or anxiety, or you're feeling like you're up against it, or you're dealing with people you just can't change, they're just going to be that lousy person, it seems, they just can't seem to get out of their own way. They have to have it their way or else, you know. When you're feeling like they're controlling you, the boss or the person downtown or whatever. When you're feeling like you just can't seem to get it right, or, geez, these bills keep piling up, or, man, the crew won't do what they're supposed to do, and the frustration builds and builds and builds. And all of a sudden, we get stuck. We get confined. It's like a pressure cooker. In an unlimited way, whether it be what we expected it to be, what we anticipated it would be, what we would, you know, what I was hoping for. What can't you see what I want now? When all that pressure starts to cook, I want to talk about the stress of that and what to do. So I made an acronym. Stress. Stop, tune in, release everything, and summon spirit. Halt. Are you hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? Stop. Just stop the fight. Stop digging. You think you're at a low place? Put down the shovel. Stop for a moment. Step away from this time frame. Does it really matter? We need to expand our minds to across time, out of time, with the experience of our own perfection, the movement from where we are now into who we are as the divine and part of that divine. That we are one in this experience. So we must stop for a moment. We've got to tune into ourselves. We've got to go in. What's going on with me? I have to ask questions. What's up with this? Why am I getting so upset? Why do I want to tear this guy's head off? Why am I getting this way? Why am I so frustrated? Why am I hyperventilating? Stop. Quiet. That's where spirit is. In the quiet. Release. If I truly come to an understanding that spirit exists, that the greater good exists, I believe in God. I believe in a higher intelligence. I believe. If I truly believe, then I let go. Hand it to them for a second while I get my scruples together, while I figure it out. Just here, you hold on to this stuff for now. Let it go. Just for a moment. This can happen very quickly, like that. It doesn't have to be long dissertations or meditations. You don't have to sit lotus style and break a hip like I would. You know, you can just chill for a second. 1 minute, 1/2 a second could change the world. It could be the difference between pulling the trigger and reassessing the situation. We release everything. In other words, this world, this experience, as important as it is not all that there is. There's so much more. This experience, this set of experiences in a lifespan is molding us, sometimes kicking us, sometimes tearing at us, sometimes wrenching our very being, only so that we will reach and thirst and hunger for that perfection. That we no longer want this pain or struggle. That we want to be one. One with all that is good. One with all that is peace. So we release everything. We summon spirit. We ask for help. We speak it out loud. The sound of our voice, the vibration we put into the universe says, I need you now. Show me the way. There is not a pathway to peace. Peace is the path. It is the way. So when we ask for it, bring me peace. Shower me with peace. Show me peace. Allow me peace. Play peace upon me. Then all of the perspective, all the junk falls out of the drawer. It moves to the side. And we find that which we need. Even in the worst of the times. Even when we've lost the closest one to us. Even in those times when that comes up and bites us because we still miss them. There's a knowing that this isn't over. This is always. This will always be there for me. So I'm going to make the best of this experience. Good, bad, or indifferent. Hard, struggle, or joyous. I'm going to reach for my joy. I'm going to own my peace. I'm going to know it's always there. And trust it. There's a woman in my house right now in hospice. She's in her 8th month, so she's already beat the clock once here. 58 years old, COPD, not breathing very well. But she's been a spiritualist minister for over 35 years. And she's an amazing person. And a couple weeks ago, some people on the retreat got a chance to hear her do an inspirational talk by phone, on a speaker. But they got to hear her and what her perspective is. Now, most people that I've met in her situation are either just quiet and they don't want to do anything. They're contemplative about their own being, their own life, or they might even be angry or agitated or whatever. So I asked her on the phone last night, what would you say about peace? And she said, well, I don't know. And I said, well, I don't know. Where are you at with it all? What's going on with you? Reverend Rhonda Bennett said, God is at the center of all things, every experience. Journey to the center of your mind, heart, and soul. God dwells there and speaks a language only heard, seen, and understood in the light of love. If you ever wanted to be loved, imagine for a moment that everybody else does too. Live your life to the fullest. Be love. That's why I came to spiritualism. It allowed me to take responsibility for my own knowing.